Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So yesterday, the range that we were looking at yesterday pretty much held. So remember yesterday we were saying we needed a clear break of 116.698 for us to get long. Alternatively, we needed a clear break of 116.214 for a move to the downside. So with the moving averages sort of pointing down, trend is obviously down, so that was the bias. And at the same time, you've got the oscillators pointing down at the moment as well. So moving on to the hour, that's the level we want to be trading. Hasn't been a retest, so that's kind of what I'm looking for a retest of 116.214, and then we are looking for a move, a continuation to the downside. And as far as I'm concerned, more than likely coming to test these previous lows here at 115.280 again. So that's kind of the structure I'm looking at there. Definitely want to see a retest of the moving averages and the range. So that's 116.214. I'm not interested in taking a trade until I get a rejection of this zone here. We get a nice rejection, and remember the rejection for me is a pin bar, an inside bar, or an engulfing bar. That's what I'm looking for on this level, and it could be just above the level. Not too worried about that, so long as it's rejecting the moving averages. And then we are looking for a move to the downside. Move to the downside obviously is something along the lines of that. So first area to take profit is going to be this previous swing low, and you can see there's a bit of structure here to the left as well. So that level is 115.738. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen. Highlighted this wedge yesterday. It looks like we are getting a break of the wedge. There is a level we need to capture, and that's this one right here. So we need to get support on 113.817. If we look at it on the hour, you'll see yesterday there's no opportunity to be trading that nonsense yesterday. To be honest, I would have been waiting at the gap anyway. That didn't materialize, but now we are sort of above the moving averages, and we're now sort of getting a moving average crossover. Only thing that is concerning me is the oscillators at the moment that are grouping to the upside. So pay attention to the structure 113.817, but we do have a daily gap that is opened here, so more than likely a pullback to come and test this area here somewhere, or let's say 113.634, so somewhere in this zone. It doesn't really look really appetizing at the moment, so I think I'll just wait for a confirmation, because what could happen is this thing could just turn into a channel, and if I do that, you'll see it's pretty close to a channel already. So wait for the structure here, get this gap closed, and then the other thing that you may want to do is just get that trend line in. It looks like that trend line was adhered to yesterday, so you're looking for price to come back into this zone. If you start getting decent price action, which is engulfing pin bars or inside bars, then well worth taking the trade. The nice thing about this is you are going to have a 220 point risk for a very large gain, well over 1,000 points, if it breaks the structure convincingly. Moving on to British pound Japanese yen. Nothing really materialized yesterday. Very tight little range, didn't close the gap here either. Doesn't fill me with much confidence, and especially that kind of price action. Look at the oscillators again, so it wouldn't surprise me to see it come back here. I think there's a trend line trying to form here as well, so that's probably what you want to be paying attention to. See, that's a flat top triangle as well, so where it is now is a flat top triangle, but a little bit higher up will also be a flat top triangle. So maybe pull back onto structure down here around 156.496. Not 100% convinced on this one. Don't like to see that kind of sideways price action. It always worries me. So there is a gap here, so I would expect that gap to close, but then there's a gap further down as well. So basically what could happen is a rejection of this area and all the way down here to close this gap as well, so form a bigger range. So I'm going to need to see either some structure on this trend line where price can get going, where I can move stop to entry as quick as possible and anticipate the break up, or alternatively what I'm looking for is a break of these lows before I start looking at it to the downside. That's kind of my view there. So I think it's more than likely a sit on hands day for British pound, Japanese yen, and US dollar, Japanese yen at the moment. Euro British pound played out pretty well yesterday. We were looking at this area during the video to see if we were going to reject this area and come to the bottom of the range. It's exactly what happened. So if we come to the hour, you can see when we were doing the video, this was the structure we had here, and you're looking for something to indicate a move to the downside. There's your inside bar, and then it was followed up with a pin bar. So that's definitely some half decent structure for a move to the downside, and that's exactly what's happened. Personally, I don't trade these ranges when they're like this. I would have been for long. I'm still of the opinion we need to clear 0.84639 and find support there before looking for a long. And looking for a short, I need to see a clear break of 0.84241 and come back and test it as well. Bear in mind that this 0.84241 is a massive weekly and monthly level. So hence the buyers coming in off it, because seem to believe that it will hold. But the way things are looking, if you start looking on the higher time frames, actually just go to the weekly on this, and you can see there is still there's still two weekly levels here. First one is this one here, which is, sorry, not levels, but they measured move targets, is 0.82698, and then you have 0.81273. So if you just look to the left, you can see the structure in this zone that we're at the moment. It is fairly intense. Okay, anyway, that's it for me this morning. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.